You can start, Anya.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our talk today with series of I Am Every Woman. And Elodie is our seventh author today to talk, so we are in the middle of it. And Anu, thank you very much for hosting us and giving us this opportunity also to share our stories. And it's been a fantastic ride so far. And we still, like I said, it's halfway. So we still have half of the authors to come. And again, a big thank you to you, Anu, for giving us this platform and sharing. I think it's also very nice for the Indian community to learn about and speak up. And this is actually where I want to go is I want you all to speak up. So let me introduce our speaker, Elodie, a French national. She initially worked for a Paris-based third-party agency, creating programs for corporate with global destination coverage. After selling one such program for Costa Rica, Elodie took the opportunity to relocate to this very beautiful land, working for a DMC, then setting up her own events organization, while serving as the director of the Chamber of Commerce. A move to the hotel side followed, with Elodie joining Marriott Group and selling into Canada and US. After 11 years in Costa Rica, London called with two further stints as senior sales manager in Marriott Hotels. Her last role as as account manager. And currently, what Elodie is doing is to become a regenerative leader and be part of transforming our organizations and societies. Elodie was always drawn by interconnection of the different ecosystems. Living in several countries, Elodie has put her heart to be involved with the local communities that enable her to develop a deep understanding of cultural differences and give her abilities to liaise on an international business level. Elodie thrives and feels complete when she belongs to a group of a project. She makes sure that everyone feels welcome and it is safe environment to express their ideas, beliefs without judgment or criticism. I hand over to Anu and Elodie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And I received today, Anya, your appreciation and love. And I am so grateful that each and every one of you is here. And thank you, Elodie, for trusting and allowing me to go through this process, because with you growing, I'm also growing. So deep acknowledgement to you. So Elodie, I really want you to, um, if you can tell the audience and who you really are, because constantly we get this one side which is a bio, that this is who Elodie is, and that's a professional bio, but I really would like to know you as a person. Thank you.
Thank you, Anu, and thank you, Anya, for the presentation. Who I am as a person, that's a big question. um, I consider myself first a citizen of the world. I've been traveling a lot and living in different countries, and Anya mentioned, I really feel learning the language and being able to communicate with other group is something that is deep inside my roots. I also consider myself as disturbing. when we did this book, and so I was part of the marketing committee, and I was always the one saying, no, I don't like it, no, I want it different. Like, so always um, not really criticizing, but really putting in perspective another ideas, or really telling again what is our objective, what is our intention, and really coming back to intention. So making sure that everything we were doing was involved, and so, and I recognize that I'm taking this role actually as a disturbing, or like asking a little a step on the side for a lot of groups I've been with. And the last part, I'm typical French. I'm really French, even if I travel everywhere. I'm keep like this French identity, liking the good food, liking the good nice things, nice way of being, and like it does resonate a lot with me. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
I like who you are. I really like who you are. And I love the fact that you can say no so easily and you can put your foot down. Could you just explain to me, how did you come to that stage? Because most of us don't know how to say no. We just accept everything. How did you develop this quality, Elodie?
It's a really interesting question, and thank you for asking it. I had so I lived 11 years in Costa Rica, and in Costa Rica there is a really, really um, difficulty of people not saying no. So they always say yes for everything, and then they don't show up, and then you feel really disappointing, because they saw that saying no will disappoint the other person. But actually saying no, it's respecting oneself. So the way you learn it is like to learn, okay, each time you look at something or someone send you something to your face or something, you need to stop and say, okay, do I respect myself saying yes? Do I say, okay, I know I'm saying yes because it's a duty, so that's fine. Or if I am not respecting myself, it's not a duty. You need to say no. And it's a lot of it was like a learned in all my life. I was not authorized to say no. I never had the authorization, but then and I had really bad experiences, and one day I wake up and I say, it can't, yeah, I can't go further, because that's the limit. And with the help of therapy group of women that you run, and you know, when you do in groups, which is really interesting, you have a mirror. So people will face to you and will reflect to you and will say, is it really what I said? Is it really how I look? And then you say, no, I don't want to be this person anymore. And then you learn. It's a learning in process. Sometimes I forget, and then I have to deal with it. But it's really little by little, you just, oh, I can say, for example, instead of saying no to someone, you can say no to the chocolate that you want to take because you already have thousands of chocolate before, or no to someone inviting to your party that you know that you don't want today. Not make connections. They say, no, I want to meet you, I want to see you, but not see everybody and then. So little step, and then after, for the big thing, you will say, no, I don't want to have abuse in my life. No, I don't want to have people not respecting me. And then you start being big.
Wow. I mean, it's almost like if I change the order, the O comes first and then N, you're on something. And if I turn it around, it's a no. It's like almost like saying yes and no, just with the order of the O going up and down. I want to know, why did you name the chapter the name that you've given? So I want you to first talk about the name that you've given. And, you know, it's very interesting. Why would someone use this as a name?
So the name that I choose for my chapter is Being Alive. How do I understand being alive? Is being alive is not is I will say what is not. It's not living. It's really being at the wheel or at of your life. So you deciding, you make choices. So being alive for me is really being there and decided what you want and be responsible for what you act and how you act. And it's someone that told me this, like that. She always mentioned that she preferred to be or perfect or being alive, and perfection doesn't exist, so better being alive. And being alive means that you do experiences. It means that you go, you try, and you may fail, but it really exists, and that's the way my life has been. So I've been raised by bourgeois milieu parents that really loved me, and but then they had their education, they had the way of living, and sometimes I was feeling that I was not in charge of my life, especially because what I wear, the corset I wear, because the study they wanted me to study, so I was full. So it was like really control life, not really. I was living. Yeah, I was living, I was eating, I was breathing, but I was not alive because I was not in control. Not, I don't like the not in control. I want. I was in the, yeah, in the wheel of my life. I did, like I had I had the steering wheel, and I wanted to go. So need the steering wheel and decided where I want to go. Do I want to go left? Do I want to go right? And so that's the reason I really decide that it's really important. So for all the experience I had, what feels important for me is being alive, so healthy, and having the responsibility of my life. And that's I can't tell, I'm not a victim. It's nobody that will help me or being satisfied with my life. I just have as me, and that's what being alive means for me.
Wonderful, Elodie. Could you tell people why were you not alive? What is the illness that you had? Could you talk about your illness and then we go further from there? Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So when I was born, I had diagnosed of a double scoliosis. So they saw it just like a month or 2 months after. So I was, and so I had appointment to the hospital every month, every year to just check how is it. So what happened when you have so my spine is like an S, and so what happened when you spine when you get a teenager, your spine grow, and then the vertebrae also can rotate, and being that you can be hatchback. So when I was 10, the hospital told my parent that it will be better to try to maintain the spine right, and there was the different option, and my parents, the option that they thought that was the better for me was to have a corset. So it's a piece like, you know, the corset you have, like the woman who wants to be nice. So it's kind of that, but it's not made in tissue. It's in a soft fabric. It's made in plastic, and then made of iron, steel, hole in front on that. And I had also something around the neck. So from the neck to my pubis, I was like all blocked. I couldn't move. You know, it's like when you block on move on one. That was exactly. And I had to wear it for 8 years. I had only 1 hour liberty per day, so I can wash myself, and I had to learn to do everything with that. So I don't know if I can say illness. I think a lot of people now have been wearing a corset. What it was not so knowledgeable at the time, and also the fact is that they didn't thought that at the time linking the psychology with the body. So they say, okay, they corset, but they don't think that how it could impact of your mind and the growing, especially for a teenager.
I mean, ever since I've heard your story and read through it, my mind has gone in various places to see that, we don't really even have to wear a corset, wear a brace. And yet we all have a community brace, a brace of our upbringing, brace of being in a certain culture. And it's so difficult sometimes to get out of it. Elodie, if you can tell us, how were these 8 years like? I mean, it's not easy, even when I think about it, and this never left my head, even in the last 1 week. How did you manage? I mean, a 10-year-old child, and she's growing, and you're making her sleep in it, get up in it, breathe in it. It's become part of her. It's like her second skin, a second bone, and she's learned to adapt with that. And that's brilliant. How did you manage those 8 years? I'm really inquisitive to know. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, yeah,
Thank
that was 8 emotional years. First of all, I was really obedient. So I was raised in a family where there was control was one of the tools of education, and I was a little scared. So I never thought of getting out of the of how do you call the revolting, or like being deciding not to wear it, or being yeah, decided not to wear it. So at the beginning, it's like it felt like I was drawing attention. So it was like a kind of a game for me, and then a game, something new. So you try to learn it with it and everything. Also, it was kind, when you're a teenager, you start to eat more, you started being fatter. Then because of the corset, I couldn't grow. Like it's just like I have to eat really small quantity all of the time because it was on my stomach, so I didn't really eat a lot. And then you learn to yeah, you relearn to walk differently. You breathing. I had exercise, breathing exercise in it. And then I even did ski with it. Actually, I was, and then I remember that all the screw went out of the, and I had to rescrew it at the end of the day because of the vibration of the ski. So as you mentioned it exactly, I embrace it. I really embrace it. So I probably embrace it like I embrace the other, like you mentioned, embrace that we have of the culture, of the education, of things. I just embrace it, and even if I felt sometimes lonely and sometimes like really different from the other, I dare say it's good for me. And I was so scared of having an operation that you really put the screw inside the body, that I decided that was the better of the worst.
Wow. Did you ever have a time when you didn't want to wear it? Did you ever kind of fuss with your say, no, that's not for me. I'm not going to do it. Did you ever have an episode like this? I mean, I understand you've been a good girl and now like you've learned to say no. But it was almost like you were saying yes, 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 yes. 23 hours, 8 years, sleeping in it, walking in it. And that's not easy for anyone to do.
No.
Never fought. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like when I was in spending summer with my best friend, and we were at the beach. Sometimes I was like crying myself out and like I don't want to have it. I don't want to wear it because in the summer it was really warm and everything. Uh, maybe I was maybe one of the twice I decided to wear it a little less than I used to be, but I never had this. It was, yeah, it was so ingrained in me that I never say no, stop it, and leave it. And I knew some people that just put it away, but no, as you say mentioned, I say yes. I did. I just say yes, and I couldn't say no. I was so scared. If there was something inside me that was that managed to scare me so much that I couldn't live without.
So, what was that fear about?
I think that was just me, the fear transmitting about being hatchback or having this operation or having some back problem when I will be older. Also, issue for pregnancy. So all the things that people were keeping at me that I just took it totally, never really look for it. But when you between 10 and 18, I don't think I never really looked out. Yeah, there was no, actually there was no internet and there was no Google that like trying to find out more corset and what is it. That was only my parents and the doctor and my parents had only one word, so one way of looking at it. I unfortunately at this time I never knew someone that had another look of it. So as I mentioned to you, the groups and the mirror, I didn't have this mirror. I had only this family, this way of the doctor for things. So it never occurred to me.
Wow, after 8 years, when this brace came off, how did you feel?
At the beginning, I felt like so happy, like just celebrating. I could buy new clothes. I can wear something different. I can be a proper teenager. I can do a lot of things. And then it scares me because I didn't have any more protection. I was like, where is my skin? Where is my body? It's like you have to reconnect with your own body because that you had something in front that protects you, and I didn't know this body. It didn't really occur to me that I never took care of it. So now it's taking care of the body and do some exercise and I'm learning again to walk and to walk differently again. And so it's I think it's a reborn. I will say I reborn outside the corset, and I was to live with it.
Wow, it's so beautiful. You rebirthed yourself.
Mm.
The first time your mom got you into this world, which was said that it's impossible. And the
Yes.
second time you birthed yourself into this world with with a problem that you had in your spine, which was an impossible problem to solve. And both the times you came out as a winner. And yet you've written the words that you felt abandoned. Why would that be?
I think it's been because it's really important to build your confidence in yourself and security in yourself, but inside yourself. Like I always told my brother it was really interesting when he was raising his children. That's the most important thing is that they're confident in themselves and they trust the inside. What was I missing is because I was either controlled or either abandoned. There was not this confidence that I had built in myself. So when suddenly everything was free myself, I didn't know who I was. That's the thing. That's the first question you say. I didn't know because who was this Elodie without a corset? Well, in the 8 years, I was the young teenager with a corset, so I had a definition. And after, you need to rethought who I was, what was my meaning, and then that was lost because suddenly I had not only freedom with the corset, but I was living by myself. So I had no more boundaries, and I needed to create my own boundaries, who was another way very scary.
Wow. I mean, your case reminds me how important the boundaries are, and sometimes the confinement can be mistaken for protection. And then to learn and relearn and learn and relearn. It looks as if your life, Elodie, because you constantly move during between different cultures, trying to find yourself, connecting with different like citizen of the world. You've also been someone who's constantly unlearning and then learning, unlearning and then learning. So can you take us through this journey of, is it easy to unlearn? Is it easy to learn back again? Is it easy to birth yourself again? I mean, people generally say, I was born on this earth once. But in your case, you've been born again and again in different circumstances. Can you talk about that, please?
Yeah, that's totally true. Um, is it difficult? I won't say in a way it's difficult. It's how do you feel being outside your comfort zone? So reborn is really putting yourself outside your comfort zone. So when I traveled to Costa Rica, I didn't speak a word of Spanish. I'm like, yeah, un, dos, tres, and that's all. So I traveled, starting a new job without knowing anyone. I had my cat with me, and I needed to learn a new languages, and I was 30, and I didn't remember exactly how you learn new languages. It was like something totally absent to me. And I made it after like 4 months in Costa Rica. Then I was speaking Spanish, and 8 months I was fluent. I have no clue, but in some way, I was so keen to having a proper conversation because for me, language. It's not only words, is customs, is the way of being, is the way of speaking, is a way of living the word. So when you able to communicate with someone, in the case the Costa Rican, in Spanish, it has a total different impact than me communicate in French or in English. So it's putting yourself in another shoes and being and wanted the I won't say it's not difficult, it's exciting. It's like the wanting to have knowledge, different feeling, different being. And each time I feel it like when I finished the cycle of Costa Rica and I went back to Europe and I went to move to England, that was another cycle. It was like another thing. Oh, that's something that difference. And so I think each time is when for me when you be in your comfort zone, at one point you being dead. It's like you're not alive anymore because you're there, okay, you live, but you're still missing the part of alive that even if it's awful, like for example for the um, lockdown and everything, it was really challenging time. And thank you, Claudia, thank you, Anya and Christine, to be for me because that was really at the beginning of the lockdown, because I was working in tourism. I really lost everything. I didn't know what I will do with myself, and I was again on the white blank page. Where will I go? What is my next step? Where? How do I develop something? Then came the project of the books, which actually helped me a lot at developing my skills, are being able to work in a group, being there. That was nice. And then working that, I start also to look into the natures, and then creating something different. And then I find it exciting, and I go back outside my comfort zone. And I'm still at this point. I'm recreating today, so I'm recreating myself because tourism it's not back, so I won't go back. And now I'm like new project. It's scary. It's scary all the time. We put ourselves in a outside comfort zone, but it's so rewarding. And really, for anyone that starting it, when you achieve a project, when you have a project, you will always good and bad things, but if at the end it's what make you go.
Wow. So, Elodie, if you look back, and I was just thinking when you were talking that you left one brace behind, you walked into another culture, you learned the brace of the new culture. Then you left that behind, and then you moved into another culture. You left a job, the brace of a job, and moved further. So, what would you say to people helps you to keep you alive during all these transitions and changes? Because people are going through such massive changes today, and they might lose it altogether because it's not easy even to travel and meet your loved ones anymore. And it's not easy to do what you want to. It almost feels like the whole world has gone into the brace of a mask, confinement, vaccination. Things are not okay. People are not to be trusted. How do people keep themselves alive during this time?
um, if I will speak only for myself is to have a circle of groups that you can trust, and anytime you need help, they will be there, and they will remind you how you are, how what are your qualities, and what you can, which is really important, especially when you're not self-confident. So it's really having a backup, and you need always to have how do I say emergency plan. An emergency plan is a plan where you feel really bad, and what is the first things that's who is the first person you call? Is it going to have a really nice bath? Is it to have like enough? I will say stupid thing, but maybe a pizza, looking at a film which start up. So it's really to have this plan where you feel that you need something to put yourself out of there, because you know that you're feeling, and you need to find something that it's still my little step, but just put out of there, so you can breathe again. And then when you can breathe again, then you can start to be alive. It's not doing big things, it's really doing something. For me, for example, is going into nature and hugging a tree, or going to milonga, so it's like where you dance Argentine tango, and having like a lovely embrace and a lovely dance. Or I will, like, one evening I feel like I will set up a really nice bath, I will put some essential oil and just relax, listening to something that I like. Or going to see, put a movies which is really sad, but then wash myself off, really putting out all that's my emotions, so which is really important. And that's the advice I say. We have to learn to be to change at any moment. There is no more certainty, and there never been. Actually, you're lucky to be alive every day. It's so grateful to be alive. So it's just like going one path to the other, and really do something that please you, not for the other one, that really resonate in you, so you can nourish yourself. And when you can nourish yourself, then you have the strength to do something different.
Wow. You need to nourish your soul, nourish yourself completely to even move forward. Otherwise, there is. And you spoke about a backup plan, you spoke about supports, and you also spoke about your mom and dad being very loving towards you. During this time of 8 years when you were in the brace, what kind of support and love did you get from
That's a difficult question. It's quite difficult to remember. So my mother, she making sure that the corset, hide the corset. So she making sure that she was doing doing nice color for me, so I didn't see it there. She was helping me to. They were really protective, so helping me to lace my shoes or things like that, or they they show support this way, and trying the best things that to make sure that I was no different of in a way being protective, in a way being that I'm not different from any other. So there was no jealousy between my brother and I, that I can do things or not. So I think that's the way they show me support, and they did the best to back up further to with their way of looking at the world, with like the best to reassure me when I had doubt. Maybe it was not exactly what I needed, but that's the best that they could do. So that's the way I felt. Is we all not perfect, and education is so hard. So I really well done to all the mother that they are there, or to anyone that is in education. Is you transmit what you have, and if anyone haven't done a work on yourself, you transmit also the violence and everything that you have. That's the way it is. And they did transmit all the love they could, to be sure that I was safe, and I didn't feel different from the others.
That's big. That's not small.
No, that's
I mean, your parents can make you feel not jealous. They can support you. You can trust them, and they're trying their level best to kind of make you merge and not make you look and feel different, despite being very different.
yeah.
That's a huge quality. You also spoke about, not in the chapter, but when we were talking, you were speaking about your grandfather and your father. Very lovingly, you had stories about them. I would really like to know a little bit about, from where you come. And it feels as if that the spirit of never say no, never take no for an answer. Even your mom, never take no for an answer, even if it's an expert saying, oh, this cannot happen. Feels like it has played in your life a very big part. So could you just guide me through your mom, dad, grandfather a little bit? Thank you.
So I'm the second French generation. One part of my father's side, my grandparents came from Poland, and on my mother's side, they come from Turkey. So it was really a mix of, of two different kind of, um, how do you say, character, or I'll say really character and different size. Um, both, so it was really interesting. So on my father's side, my grandmother was the one really managing everyone. She had 10 sister and brother, and then she bring everyone to France, and then some moved to the States. And she was the one saying that they have to flow, because it was during the war, that they had to flow through the how do you call this, the free France, and then so they actually, she saved the family, but they had always a really good star luck with them, because each time it could have been worse, and each time it went well. So it was really, they went through, you feel that you have like some shoot, when someone shoots you and there is all the bullets there, and then they went through that. It was totally amazing. So
That's that's not
yeah.
easy. No.
No, they had a really a kind of luck, and so they survived. And on my grandparents' side, on my mother's side, I don't know how he managed it, but he managed to get the Portuguese nationality, and they went all to Portugal during the war. So it kind of really, yes, as you say, they never say no. They was always resourceful to be stay alive and to be alive, and they were resourceful all their life, really all their life. It's you really have to admire them for that.
Wow. I would open a session here and ask if Claudia or Christine or Renu or Anya have anything to ask on the Facebook. If anybody has a question that or something that they would like to ask Elodie. So I open it up for all of you. If you have anything to ask her, because it's been such an amazing, and I'm telling you, for the whole 1 week, ever since I spoke to you, I felt blessed. Thank you, Anya, for getting Elodie in my life and her story. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Christine, because it just felt that if all of you could find a way, then everybody on this earth can find a way. So, any questions for her? Thank you.
I'm just going to ask, so where next, Elodie? I know you're doing your wonderful creative things with your nature, and you're wanting to have that. I can't wait to be able to come and visit. Is it going to be a hotel, or is it going to be an Airbnb or whatever? I can't remember. But I also just want to say, be very proud of yourself for getting through with all of the brace, because in actual fact, strangely enough, Anu, my elder sister wore a Milwaukee brace, and I would love for you, Elodie, and she to have a conversation, because I have no idea about how it affected her. It affected me when she first got her brace and she was going to school. I actually, and I've been told this and I didn't know I did it, but I refused to go to school because I didn't want my sister to be, sort of exposed, let's say, as being like different. So be absolutely proud of yourself to be where you are, in the very balanced place, and that you've actually, like your grandparents and your parents, have basically not allowed yourself to be put in this box, into this space, that's you were a person with a brace, and that's how you were going to live the rest of your life. You weren't going to, because it was going to go, but you could have actually still maintained that afterwards. So but where next?
Who knows? For now, I'm learning all about community orchard, so learning the fruit tree, learning how a tree are like human. They have stress, they have in disease, they can respond to disease, to bacteria. So it's really interesting. And also learning about Tai Chi and Chi Cong, and maybe being like a Chi Cong teacher. And also, as you mentioned, Kristen, my project is a community guest house, like helping people to reconnect to their body and to the nature through the body. So it's through art, to informal dancing, singing. So you really feel when you speak, how does it feel into your lungs? How do you feel in your body, in your butt, in your stomach? Or it's a really interesting. And when you just listen to your voice, how does the voice feel? Do you like your voice or not like? And how do you feel that you want different? So that's all this, because we've been so disconnected, totally disconnecting. And that's the issue also with these diseases, is because we're not connected. We don't know what is how our immune system works, so we don't know how we can protect ourselves. And so we take something from outside, but inside we have a lot of resources, and this is these resources that I'm learning to find, and I wish everyone can find all the resources that they have in us.
Wonderful.
You're welcome.
Wow, that's so beautifully said.
Thank you.
Can't wait and stay with you at your guest house.
Really, I mean, I just feel like, when you talk about, it's like as if you're searching for you're having a treasure hunt inside you. And it's almost like we spend enough time looking outside. We don't know anything inside our body. We're constantly outside. And if we probably made that effort to connect the inside with the outside, that would be probably the true living.
I
Wow.
totally, yeah. I really totally, it totally resonates what you said, Anu, with me. It's exactly that, exactly that. If we connect the inside with the outside, it will be so different word, so different. It's why it's missing.
You know, my mentor, Dr. Kwesi, he says talk about things authentically, and you spoke really from your heart. And Carl Dawson, who's in UK, he constantly used to say, and that our biggest wounds become our biggest gifts in our life. So I would really like you to tell people, how did this become the biggest gift of your life? What was the learning that you got in those 8 years and many years to come later?
I think the first one was persistency. So I really like when, for example, I was a sales, so I can do sales as well. As you say, I necessarily no for answer. I was like keeping and like being until I have the person is a person. I'm not interesting, and I at me until the end. I was like really being persistent and make sure that I. You saw all the different possibilities, and then if I think and say okay, that's a no, that's a no, but really persistence here, I will say. And then learning to be different, learning to, but we all different, we really all different. So it's like this society start to standardize everything, but we all unique. That's the beauty of it, and we have all to recognize our uniqueness. And being unique is amazing. It doesn't mean that you are different. It means that you feel differently, which is great. So that's we really what I learn as well. And then as I mentioned at the days, I learned to be alive, and I learned to mm, get over a physical impingement. So as I mentioned, even if I was having the course and I was skiing, I was doing a lot of things. I was dancing and everything. Was not really nice. It was that, but I was doing it. So you learn that it's if you have it in your mind, if you want to do something, you can still do it. It's really, as we go back to it's the brace that we have in our mind that's saying no, I shouldn't do that, or no, I shouldn't wear that, or no, it's because I'm that, or I'm that, or I part of this caste, or I'm part of this caste and I have no right to do that. Why not? Why not? That's us telling us what to do or not, unfortunately. All our limiting belief that we have.
Absolutely. It feels as if God gave us wings and we clipped them every time because we wanted to fit in. We
Hmm?
forgot how to fly.
Mhm.
I love this metaphor. Amazing.
Uh,
I
so,
actually, Anu, I've just picked up the book
yes,
with just so I could actually re-look at the words on Elodie's mug, and
yes.
there are some. The other one that you haven't she hasn't mentioned is actually about trust, and I
Ah,
think trust is quite a key one for yourself, Elodie, because you've got trust in yourself. You had trust in how your parents supporting you, you had trust in, I guess, the specialist, but it's also you've got this trust that you know that if you apply yourself, that something will happen.
Mm.
So sorry, I just wanted to pick that up because I just thought, oh,
And
And Elodie has a very tough mind now. You know, she's very like you said in our marketing meetings. You know, she was the last one to give her last word and change everything again and re-question everything again. You know, and yeah, you know, it's if you go through things like that in life, it makes you tougher, you know, and like you said, you don't accept a no, you go for it. And yeah. And unfortunately, I think nowadays you start to learn too late about working the inside and the outside of you, you know, like, I mean, I'm 66 and I'm only starting to learn about it now. So it's very late. And I think there should be classes in school and everything, you know, to teach this much earlier. And yeah. And it's, and you dealt with it fantastically in, you know, because I think a time for you also, which might have been very, very difficult, is like, you see all the girls at 18 and 17, 16, 14, first boyfriends and everything, and you couldn't have that, you know, and it's, wow. Yeah. Oh, my daughter's here, she said already at 12. and it's just, you know, it must have been very difficult to see flirts and holding hands at that age, which is very important also, and you couldn't participate. Yeah.
Because the way I was looking at myself, I couldn't do it. I think I could have done it if I was, but I was really aware of the corset, and maybe the other was not aware of it. But then that was my feeling. So that stopped really having boyfriend or girl or relationship.
Yeah, but you know, all this sexual part at that age starts to play a very key role. And so, yeah. Merci.
Claudia, do you have any question for her? Would you like to?
Claudia?
Every time I listen to Elodie, I feel really inspired, because just the thought of being limited physically, I can't even entertain, and that for 8 years. But what I found fascinating is that Elodie is now using this experience and is turning it into a gift for humanity. And that I found fascinating, because only if you really have experienced something can you actually deeply embody it and teach it. Otherwise, it stays as an outside, you know, as a knowledge, as a simple fact. So the gift which Elodie is about to embark and share, I found it absolutely invaluable, because, as Elodie is saying, we are disconnected from our bodies, happening within ourselves, and we haven't even learned that. There's no, at school we are not being taught. Only when we are starting to open ourselves on that spiritual path are we understanding that there's more to our so it is absolutely the word awesome of Elodie to really, you know, to share her gift. And what I learned, who have a gift, it comes through adversity, inverted commas, and adversity to really deepen that space is wisdom, is our gift. So Elodie, I feel absolutely in awe that you can see and embrace that light.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So there's a question, I know it's more in an observation which I carry in my heart.
Renu, do you have any question to ask, my dear? Renu, would you like to unmute yourself and ask a question?
No, I don't have any question.
Okay, would you like to say something to her?
It was really great listening to her, and it's really encouraging. So I'm happy that I attended today's class.
Thank you so much. You also have Sabah Khan on the Facebook saying God has gifted women lots of strength and stamina to fight any situation. You also have Justin over here saying hello to you. You have Luisa saying thank you to you, and lovely conversation. Then people don't have any question right here, but they love listening to you, Elodie. And I have one last question before we leave, because you know what? It's so easy to let you go. It feels sometimes that this time is almost like the sand that I'm holding in my hand, which will just slip by if I don't hold it tightly. So I just want to hold this last bit with you and understand that today, when people are killing themselves, especially teenagers, because they had one pimple on the face, or they had a rejection from a boy, or they had something going on. And here, your whole back wasn't okay, and you were in a brace. How did you keep your morale and your stamina alive despite having no help, which is called the psychiatric or psychological help? There was none of that given to you. So there must have been something that made you kept going every day. I understand that you knew that it was good for you, but that inner strength, what was that about? I wish I could have even 1/4 of that. I would have been a different person. What was that?
I was listening to your question, and I think it came from the fact that, as you mentioned, my mother at the beginning thought that she couldn't have children. And so for the first month, she didn't know that she was pregnant, but I was still there and I was really hanging there. I didn't want to let go. And I never, that's the thing, I never let go. And so this strength that I had for living, for being alive, I think it did help me through the course. And also I had really good friends, my best friend and thing. So I'd, even if I had the help of understanding why it was happening for me, I was really well, I'd a circle of trusting people. So coming back to trust, that were there for me. So that was really important. And yeah, that was really things that going through me, for that helped me going through the 8 years. And also knowing that there was a finishing period. That was not for life. It was only 8 years. Okay, 8 years is a lot, but it's still only 8 years. So it kind of, I was lucky. People are like losing arms or limbs or anything for, and it's for life. I just have to wait for. So I think that also looking at on this way did help me to face it and to go through that.
And the last one. I promise you this is the last one. I won't ask you anything more after this. I wonder if your mom was standing here today. And what if you jumped into your mom's shoes and saw the little you standing there with this corset from your neck down to the pelvic area? How are you feeling as a mom when you look back at that Elodie who's just 10 and is lying down and sleeping in it and getting up and has made that a part of her skin for almost 8 years? And no questions, no tantrums, nothing. How do you, as a mother, see it? What's the learning for you in all this?
So the first things in my mind, I think, is proud. Is like not proud, but courage. Looking at this little girl having so the courage to really live through that. And the other thing is I wanted to help this little girl as much as you can to go through that, to really helping to soothe this experience, so it can be like experience that she can learn from, and not really something that she ate and that like she wants to destroy. So I think that's the two things I will learn as a mother.
Wow. So I just want to say thank you, Elodie. I understand that you have huge courage in you, huge courage. A courage that says, oh, it's only 8 years.
Yeah.
It's not for lifetime. And a pimple that stays on the face is probably only for 7 days. And yet it feels like a lifetime. So over to Anya. And this is where I promised her that was the last question, and I keep up my promise.
I thank you all again for a fantastic evening. And when you have put us off Facebook, then I would like to introduce my family.
Okay.
So come, Caroline. Come, Marco. This
See
is
you.
Marco.
Hi,
You want
Marco.
to say hello.
Hello.
Hello, Marco.
Hello, Marco.
And this is Luca.
Hello, Luca.
And this is Caroline, my daughter.
Hello, Caroline.
Nice to meet you.
Lovely seeing you.
You too.
So Elodie is now in France, Claudia is in UK, and Christine is in UK, and Anu, my dear friend, is in Mumbai.
Okay.
Yeah.
All over.
And Anu is the queen of asking questions. She is for me Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah Winfrey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lovely to meet you all.
I'm honored. All. Thank you for all the goodness.
Elodie, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Elodie.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.